Hello everyone, Ben here, and we're back with more World Touring Car ranked racing in RaceRoom, this time in the Seat Cupra at the Hungaroring. But before we get going, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a single race. And we are underway here for the race with a big grid and seemingly a very quick one as well. We really struggled in practice and qualifying to set a competitive time, so I'm not that optimistic about where we'll finish today. But we're coming down now for the first time into T1. We've made a couple of spots straight off the start, and we're now trying to get down the inside of a couple of cars here on exit. We managed to just hold it, but we're 3 wide here as we come down now towards the second set of corners, the tricky left-hander off camber. We get a little nudge from behind and we're nearly round, but we're going to try and hold it around the outside anyway and get the inside for the next corner before we're into the midsection of this lap, and we have made that place stick. So we're now running in 12th. Super competitive field. We did qualify in 15th in the end, and that was about all the pace we had. So as I say, I'm not quite sure how we're going to fare in the race. We might be relying on some mistakes from other drivers. This is a track that I've driven a lot, primarily in single-seaters in Formula 1 cars in the F1 games. So I know the track well, but I've never been that big a fan of it. It's known as Monaco, but without the walls. And there are big sections of the lap here at Hungary, which are essentially one long corner, like the part of the track that we're running through at the minute, where you're sweeping from left to right to left again. And passing opportunities are really limited here, probably to T1 and possibly to this right-hander that we're coming up to here towards the end of the lap, if you can get down the inside. So I'm expecting a really tight race here, and hopefully we'll be able to consolidate at least where we've gotten to at the end of lap 1, if not move forward another couple of spots and try and get into the top 10 as the race progresses. We're coming around now for the first time into the final corner, hugging the wall nice and tight so we can get the power early to get onto the back straight, and we're going to cross the finish line now, and that completes lap 1. We've fast forwarded now to the end of the third lap. We're up into 10th as a couple of cars did retire from the race in those early laps, and we've managed to kind of keep connected to the group of cars ahead, and we've dropped the cars behind us, which is good. You know you're in a pretty good server when, as up ahead there, you see the cars weaving, trying to stay in one another's tow down the straight, really trying to maximize the speed and make a pass into T1. That's pretty cool to see. That fighting up ahead is allowing us, I think, to stay in contact with those cars and give us a fighting chance, really, if anybody makes a mistake, of making up further positions. But really good racecraft there from the cars ahead, and all fair at the moment. No offs, no accidents as yet, and so we're just holding station, trying to kind of remain consistent ourselves, and waiting for something to happen up ahead that might give us an opportunity to move forward. You will see in the bottom right hand corner the tyre graphics. The front left tyre is just there, turning a shade of brown and into red. That is going to be a defining feature of this race, tyre wear. We fast forward now another couple of laps, and we're about to see the defining battle of this race get underway, for us at least. As we come now down into T1, you'll see the pack ahead has broken apart slightly, and the VW up ahead of us is now challenging the Audi. And this is going to very quickly turn into a 3-way battle for 8th, 9th and 10th position. We come now down into the sweeping left-hander. The VW is trying to go around the outside of the Audi, and he looks like he might just about make this move stick. He's now got the inside for the next corner, and he has made it stick. So we're now running behind the Audi and just thinking about whether we might follow the VW through, but this is a very difficult corner to make a move stick, so we think better of it. But the Audi is much bolder and braver. He gets in front of the VW, who runs up onto the curbs. We think about trying to get around the outside, but we just don't have the grip to make it stick, so we tuck back in. The VW's having to think about getting down into the inside of the chicane, but the Audi covers that off. There's not room for 2 cars through there. We nearly make contact with the VW as we come to the exit of the chicane, and Now we're into this section of corners which just flows one into the other, and it's so difficult to think about making a move here. So it's just about trying to stick tight to the cars up ahead before we get into the final section of the lap. The VW is feeling very racy. He's trying to get all over the back of the Audi. The Audi runs slightly wide. That might give a bit of a chance here for us to get past. I'm going to try and follow the VW through here as he's got the inside line. We take the corner nicely, hook it up, and we're alongside the Audi, but we're not quite close enough coming into the left-hander. So we duck back to the inside, and it now looks like it might be us and the Audi that gets past the VW. Briefly, we're 3 wide. We get on the brakes nice and early to do the cutback manoeuvre. The Audi runs in deep, and finally, after a whole lap of scrapping, we're able to make the move on the Audi, and both ourselves and the VW up ahead make our way through. You'll see there's a yellow flag in the top left hand corner. There's been an incident up ahead. You see the cloud of dust on the right hand side, a car rejoining. The Audi's making a move down our inside. We again get on the brakes nice and early and do the switchback move. The Audi's in too deep, and finally this time the move is done. Fantastic racing there to be in that three-way battle for essentially the best part of a lap and a half, trying to vie for position. All clean and fair racing, really enjoyable. Cut forward now to the final lap, and we are just about managing to keep the car behind us, but our tyre wear is a real issue. Not only have we got an overheated left front, but we're also finding that the wear at the front is a big issue, and that is manifested itself in a big lockup in the T1, and we've lost a huge amount of time to the car behind. He is right on our rear bumper now. To boot, we are also very marginal on fuel. So I am at this stage of the race pretty worried about making it to the end full stop. We've gone in deep again into the left-hander. I've basically lost the front tyres here. I've lost confidence in the front tyres, and I'm making all sorts of mistakes just trying to keep the car on the road under pressure from the car behind. We're going to come now into the very fast and tricky left-hander. It would take a brave person, as we saw with the Audi, to make a move into that corner. The Alfa thinks better of it. We're coming now into the sweeping right-hander, and we both run wide. Thank goodness he made the same mistake as us there. Perhaps he's struggling with his tyres as well. As we come now into the middle section of the lap, tight chicane. We're going to be pretty safe through here as long as we can hook up the apexes, which we do, but we run slightly wide on exit. This is going to be a horrible set of corners in overheated tyres that are worn. We just about keep it through there, but we're so slow, and the Alfa is all over the back of us at the moment. He seems to be the favourite to get this move done before the end of the lap, given the pace that we're running at the moment. He's trying to get alongside as he looks to the outside. He's now going to look to the inside into this right-hander, but he's not quite close enough as he thinks about sticking his nose in the inside, but it's too tentative really. If he was going to make that move, he had to be braver on the brakes. We're coming round now with just 2 corners to go, the long left-hander and then the right-hander to finish the lap. He's got one more chance basically into this braking zone. We're going to try and hook the inside to just close him off, and he does make a move, but then he thinks better of it. He pulls back out so we don't make contact, and we're going to come across the line to finish this race in 9th place. A really good finish, a really dramatic battle there at the end as our tyres have just gone, but a super enjoyable race in the World Touring cars. They're just so dependable for throwing up brilliant racing here on RaceRoom in the ranked servers. Great calibre of driving throughout the field. 9th place was definitely the best we could get from today. There was some super quick guys on the grid. And there are the final classifications. I hope you've enjoyed the race. If you have, leave a like, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a race in the future, and I'll see you next time.